Anger smouldering in the heart of Paris. Makeshift barricades and flashing blue lights, the aftermath of a riot on France's most famous avenue. Turning the Champs-Élysées into a front line, in clashes between self-styled yellow jacket demonstrators and riot police, who used tear gas, water cannon and batons to try to contain the violence. After protesters broke out of agreed cordons, streaming towards the official residence of France's president, in an 8th day of unrest in Paris and across the country, as what started as an outcry against rising fuel prices morphed into an all-out protest against the policies of President Emmanuel Macron. Demonstrators say he doesn't care about the working class. Things like tax breaks help the wealthy and big business, they say, and not them.
It's going to trigger a civil war, and me, like most other people, we're all ready. We're fed up paying and paying, so for me that's the way it is. It's just not possible to keep paying all the time.
They take everything from us. They steal everything from us. We have to pay for everything. We're overtaxed. We're not just taxed, we're overtaxed. We hope the protests are going to change things.
Mr. Macron took to Twitter to condemn the rioters. Shame on those who attacked the police. Shame on those who are violent against other citizens. No place for this violence in the Republic. His government suspects far-right activists of infiltrating the protest at the request of Marine Le Pen.
The insurgents have answered the call, particularly from Marine Le Pen. They want to attack our institutions and our MPs from the majority party. There have been a number of direct and personal attacks against those who represent the Republic. I call on everyone once again to be responsible.
Police are pulling out of the Champs-Élysées and a clean-up operation is underway. But many people are still frustrated and more rallies are expected as protesters pledge to continue their struggle until their voices are heard. Deborah Haynes, Sky News, Paris.
In fuel prices, but it's turned into something much wider, a real test for President Macron now.
It is a big test for President Macron and has been for the past 8 days when these protests have been taking place around the country. However, the violence that gripped the Champs-Élysées yesterday actually is a bit of an own goal for the protesters because it really has angered people that this street has been absolutely wrecked. When we came here yesterday, there were barricades all along the Champs-Élysées, makeshift barricades. You can see behind me the remnants of that protest. And shop fronts have been broken glass, debris everywhere. People are really angry that these protesters have caused such havoc. I was chatting to a coffee shop owner this morning who very kindly let us stand underneath the awning outside his shop because it's raining. And he said to me that these people, they don't work, they're just layabouts, they just want to make trouble. And then he came out and gave me a coffee and said, we're not breakers, we're workers. So a real sense that, yes, while people understand the anger and the frustration of the demonstrators, those who turned peaceful demonstration into violence have actually not been very popular at all, not been very welcome. That said, there's no sense that the anger has been calmed. People are still very, very frustrated, and the expectation is that there will be more protests taking place. Whether or not they'll be violent, like yesterday, remains to be seen.
Deborah, thank you.